Odyssey Alexander.
Jesse Warren playing like an MVP.
And oh my goodness!
And makes the play! Called strike three.
Oh, that's a laser double play! Aubrey Leach laying down the bunt. Not going to get her. Dangerous hitter here. Grand slam!
The best players in the world.
First pitch to Maya swinging, and she does it again!
Welcome to the 2024 AUX Draft for Series 1. I'm your host, Savannah Collins. We are getting ready to lock in the first pick of the draft, but first, let's meet the captains for Series 1. We're going to start things off with the gold team captain. That's Aubrey Leach. All last season, she invested in adapting her game leading into the 2023 season, and man, did it pay off. She had her first medal of AU Pro Sports, finishing in second place. She was one of 7 players in the league to hit 400 or better. She had a 405 average and started in all 10 games. She tied with Haley McClenny for the league lead with 15 hits, including 2 home runs, 5 doubles, and a triple. Your gold team captain for Series 1, Aubrey Leach. Coming up for the Orange team is Megan Wiggins. It was the best finish of her AU Pro softball career when she finished in 5th with 1,076 leaderboard points. She had a league-high 790 win points. She just kept on winning with 166 stat points. She batted .286 with 8 hits, including a double and a triple, and drove in 7 runs. Your Orange team captain for Series 1, Megan Wiggins. And finally, for the Blue squad is Jesse Warren. She made a serious debut back into softball after taking a year off. She finished in 6th place with 1,010 leaderboard points. She dazzled fans all season long on the hot corner, earning the honor of defensive MVP. She hit .344 with 11 hits, including 4 home runs and a double. Jesse Warren, your blue team captain. So a little bit about how today's draft is going to work. This is not a straight snake draft like we've had in the past. Picks are going to go in order and then start back over. And starting things off with the first pick of the draft is going to be Jesse Warren. Jesse, do you know who your number 1 overall pick is?
Pitcher Alyssa Denham.
The first pick of the draft is pitcher Alyssa Denham. I have a feeling these athletes have their number 1 picks pretty ahead of time. So Megan Wiggins, if you're ready for the number 2 pick.
Catcher Taylor Edwards.
Taylor Edwards taken off the board with the second pick of the draft, going to be back there behind the plate for the Orange squad. And now Aubrey Leach, who is your number 1 pick? We've got some strategizing going on between Aubrey and her facilitator. She's ready.
Pitcher Odyssey Alexander.
Odyssey Alexander is off the board. So your number 1 picks for Series 1 are all returners: Alyssa Denham, Taylor Edwards, and Odyssey Alexander. We're going to give these captains some time to strategize, and we talk about a little bit how this is going to work today. So these captains are going to make 13 picks from the 42 athlete roster. There are 8 newcomers this season, athletes who have played pro overseas or here in the United States, but this is their first season with AU. We have 13 rookies coming out of college or who are making their pro debuts this season, and then 21 returners. So far, 3 of them are already on the draft board. All right, Jesse, let us know who your next pick is.
Corner infielder Tori Vidalis.
Tori Vidalis off the board with the second pick for Team Warren. Wiggins, let us know who's coming up next for you.
Pitcher Taylor McQuillan.
Team Wiggins drafts their first pitcher, Taylor McQuillan. We've got a familiar battery there with Taylor Edwards and Taylor McQuillan. They've been on the same team before. We're seeing a lot of familiar faces right now coming off in the first and second round. Aubrey Leach is ready with her next pick.
Pitcher Montana Fouts.
Montana Fouts is the first newcomer and also a rookie coming off the board. She's going to play on the gold team. So what you're seeing so far is obviously a lot of pitchers. That's something we see every season in Athletes Unlimited. The pitchers are usually a really sought after pick early on, so these captains can establish who their pitching staff is going to be. Also seeing Tori Vidalis establishing an early pick for Team Warren, and then Taylor Edwards being the first pick from Team Wiggins as a catcher. Jesse, let us know who's next.
Middle infielder, Hannah Flippin.
Hannah Flippin goes to the Blue Squad for Series 1. Wiggins, let us know who you have ready to pick.
Pitcher Alicia Ocasio.
Alicia Ocasio is off the board. Another pitcher for Team Wiggins, so who we're seeing so far is they've got 2 pitchers established and their catcher. And Aubrey Leach is ready.
Middle infielder, Erin Koffel.
Erin Koffel is taken off the board. I'll tell you a little bit about her since she's one of our newcomers this season. So maybe if you've been watching Athletes Unlimited and haven't been watching a ton of college softball to get you a little bit familiar. So she was one of our 15 players selected in the 2024 AU Pro Softball Draft. She's from Bremen, Indiana. She played at Kentucky, and she's one of our middle infielders coming in this season as a draftee who was just picked, finished up her college season, and then came out to Wichita for AUX. Jesse, let us know who's next.
Pitcher, Kaylani Ricketts.
Kaylani Ricketts is off the board. I would say one of probably the most legendary players to join AU this season for her really debut with Athletes Unlimited. She has played years in the United States, in Japan for Team USA. She's an Olympian. She's a member of the OKC Spark. We've got quite a few of those players in our league this season, and now she is off the draft board for Team Warren. Wiggins, let us know who you've got next.
Middle infielder, Sydney McKinney.
Sydney McKinney, the Wichita State legend. She's here playing in Wichita again after her decorated college career, back playing in Wilkins Stadium, where this entire season will be played. June 10th through 25th will be at Wilkins Stadium playing the AUX season. Our first time in Wichita. If you've been following along for years, the first AUX season was in San Diego, and then last year was in Rosemont, Illinois, and now for the first time, we're in Wichita, Kansas. Aubrey, let us know who your 4th pick of the draft is.
Catcher, Jordan Roberts.
Jordan Roberts is off the board. The Gator, my fellow Gator. One thing about Jordan and Taylor is they are 2 of the only returning catchers coming this season. So many of our newcomers and our rookies are in the catcher position. So if I'm guessing right now, maybe these captains are going for a little bit of familiarity, and these batteries, picking some veterans who have been within this AU system, know how to win an inning and navigate how really sometimes stressful the AUX and AU Pro format can be. So you're seeing Taylor Edwards and Jordan Roberts as some of those catchers who are coming off the board early. Jesse, tell us who you're starting off this next round with.
Outfielder, Haley McClinney.
Halo is picked to Team Warren. She starts off the first round with the first pick of our 5th round to get things started. Halo McClinney is someone who's been in Athletes Unlimited since the beginning. She's played in every season. She's played in almost every game. As somebody who brings that veteran experience to the outfield. Wiggins, tell us who your pick is.
Outfielder, Bubba Nichols.
Another outfielder in the 5th round, Bubba Nichols, joins Team Wiggins. As Aubrey Leach looks at who she wants for her next pick, let's take a look at who's left. So one thing about these AU drafts, if you're not familiar, maybe this is the first time you're tuning in, is players are having to choose a certain amount from each position so that these teams are balanced. So you can see the pitchers left, outfielders as well, 4 catchers still left on the board, as well as 4 corner infielders, 2 middle infielders, and then the designated players. Now, just because these athletes are drafted from that position doesn't mean that they have to play it throughout the series. They can play any position that the captain puts them to. And Captain Leach is ready with her next pick.
Corner, Sam Fisher.
Corner Sam Fisher rounds out the 5th round. Let's kind of dig into these picks so far. So Jesse Warren with the first pick of the draft with Alyssa Denham. I don't think if you've been watching AU Pro Sports that this comes as any surprise. Denham has been so dominant as a starter pitcher who really can go for long. It's something that's coveted in the pitcher position at AU Pro Softball just because of how challenging these hitters can be. Then Tori Vidalis, I would say that might have been not only a great offensive pick, but a great chemistry pick for this team too. Then Hannah Flippin, Kaylani Ricketts, and Haley McClenny. Taking a look at Team Wiggins, seeing a ton of experience in this squad. Obviously, Wiggins as an outfielder, putting another pick in there with her with Bubba Nichols, Sydney McKinney for her middle infield, 2 pitchers in McClellan and Ocasio, and then her establishing that catcher on her squad. Jessie Warren is ready with her next pick. Let us know who you've got.
Outfielder Kaylee Harding.
Kaylee Harding is off the board. Another one of our newcomers this season. She plays the outfielder position. Like Jessie Warren said, she's from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. She's a righty, and she played at Florida State. So this is going to be her pro debut with Athletes Unlimited. She was a 4-year letter winner at Florida State. She started in almost every single game of her career. She compiled a .311 batting average, huge in the doubles and really picking up extra bases. So she's got the offense and the defense as well. Before Jessie locked in her pick, we were kind of taking a look through these teams. Looking at Team Leach, double picks for pitchers first off, Odyssey Alexander and Montana Fouts, and then Koffel, Jordan Roberts, and Sam Fisher. You can tell these captains are deep in thought. I think this is the part of the draft where you start to have to either make some pivots or change the direction you were going in. Maybe sometimes you can plan through that first round, maybe even the second round. But this is where you either stick to the plan you made or you have to go in a different direction to try and piece together the team, the offense, the defense that you're looking for. And we're ready for our next pick.
Corner infielder, Delaney Wiz.
Delaney Wiz goes to Team Wiggins. Now, one thing about Delaney is not only is she a corner infielder, she's more of a utility, I would say. She can also catch. She's played a little bit of everywhere. As a coach, she's also worked with outfielders. So she's one of those players that you might see be able to move around the field in the different positions that they can play. A lot of times that gives captains options of just being able to create the lineup they want, being able to move pieces on the field too. So Delaney Wiz goes to Team Wiggins with the 6th pick. Aubrey Leach is ready to finish out this round.
Corner, Bailey Klingler.
Bailey Klingler, another one of our newcomers this season. She's from Houston, Texas, so not too far from home this season in Wichita, a little bit of a drive. She played at Washington. She was one of 14 players selected 2 years ago in the AU Pro Softball Draft. She was also the 2nd overall pick for us last season, and so for her, she's had a decorated rookie season in the pros. She's coming in with experience and is able to bring that as a corner infielder to AUX this season. So as we're about halfway through these picks, here's when you can tune in. So we've got a couple days of practice left. Once these teams are put together, they'll meet, they'll get connected, and then from there, they'll have a couple days of practice to really start to establish some of that chemistry, get ready for the season, and then this season is going to debut on June 10th. Now, one thing that's unique about AUX is every game day, one of these teams plays a doubleheader. And the first team that's going to make a doubleheader this season is Team Leach. We'll talk a little bit about the schedule after Jessie Warren makes her pick.
Catcher Haley Lee.
Haley Lee is off the board, and she's going to Team Warren. She's the first catcher to be chosen to Team Warren, so you can expect her to have some time behind the plate calling games this season. A little bit about Warren is she was an AU Pro softball draftee. She spent 4 years at Texas A&M before transferring to Oklahoma. She's another from Texas, from Kingwood. She wears number 45 in honor of former Astros baseball player Carlos Lee. So she's an athlete that you can get to know this season as one of our new AU Pro softball newcomers. Wiggins is ready.
Pitcher Mariah Mazon.
Mariah Mazon, the pitcher who made her debut at AUX 2 seasons ago in San Diego, has continued to get better every single season, and now she's another on the staff for Team Wiggins. It's like we were talking a little bit about this year's schedule. June 10th is going to be the debut of the 2024 AUX season. The first game will be Team Wiggins versus Team Leach. That's at 5 CT on ESPN News. And then the second game will be Team Warren versus Team Leach at 7:30 CT on ESPNU. So both those games back-to-back, Team Leach will take on the first doubleheader of the series. And Aubrey Leach is ready with her next pick.
Pitcher Peyton Gottschall.
Peyton Gottschall goes to Team Leach. One thing about Peyton and some things for you to get to know, another one of our newcomers this season. She's a righty from Ohio, spent her career at Tennessee, and was another one of those 15 players selected in this year's draft. She also spent 3 seasons at Bowling Green, and talking to her yesterday, it was really unique to get to hear her experience of going from playing in the MAC conference to then playing in the SEC, and now taking another leap of her career from college to pro. Jessie's ready to start off the 8th round. Let us know your pick.
Pitcher Maddie Pinta.
Maddie Pinta is taken off the board. We're starting to see some of those pitchers being picked up more and more often. As you're tuning into today's draft, you might be wondering, where are we? We are in the Applebee's in Wichita, Kansas. They are the sponsor of this year's draft. They're treating us to some drinks and food as these captains try and lock in these picks. Megan Wiggins is ready to lock in her next one.
Catcher Kayla Kowalik.
Catcher Kayla Kowalik is off the board. Getting to know her a little bit yesterday, like Wiggins said, she's a catcher. She spent her career at Kentucky. Another one of those athletes that was drafted 2 years ago to AU, but this season is making her debut as a part of AUX. She's also been a member of Team USA, so if you tune in to some international play and cheer on the red, white, and blue, you might know her from there. She was a 5-year letter winner at Kentucky. And we're ready to know the next pick for Aubrey Leach.
Designated player Jocelyn Allo.
The home run queen is off the board. Jocelyn Allo goes to Team Leach. We are 8 picks into the draft. Let's take a look at who's left and what pieces you might think might be the best fit for the rest of these teams. So you've got 3 pitchers still on the board: Alex Duraco, Sarah Willis, Hope Tropwine. Then we've got a big chunk of outfielders. Sometimes when we're looking at who's left, it has to do with offense. Other times it has to do with defense. And it might just be what your team needs. So we're seeing these players slowly get picked. 2 catchers left, only 1 corner infielder. Now, one thing to know about when there's only 1 position left, that means the other 3 captains have already chosen their corner infielders. So sometimes the captains can use that as a strategy. They know that they're going to lock in that pick, So they'll maybe save it. You might be going, why haven't they been taken off the board yet? It might just be that they're working the system to their advantage to know that they're going to get that pick and use some players that they might feel like could be off the board by that time sooner. 2 middle infielders and then 2 designated players left too. We're ready to start off the 9th round. Jesse, let us know who you got.
Outfielder Morgan Zirkle.
Morgan Zirkle playing on Team Warren. Zirkle has such a unique story. If you want to know more about her, you can go to auprosports.com with a feature about her career growing up in West Virginia, going to play at Marshall, that being the one school that she was really heavily recruited by, playing her pro career internationally here in the United States, and now going back to Marshall as the new head coach of that program with some familiar faces too. Sydney McKinney is also on that coaching staff. One of our former AU Pro Sports facilitators and players are on that staff too. So that's really an AU crew over in West Virginia with Marshall. Wiggins is ready. Let us know who you're picking next.
Outfielder Jadlyn Alchin.
Jadlyn Alchin, our next pick going in the 9th round for Team Wiggins. If you've really been a big fan of AU and have gotten familiar with these players, you have a whole new group to get to know this season. When we're at these drafts, I'll try and tell you a little bit about them, drop some of their stats. Jadlyn is a UCLA Bruin. She's coming in after having 4 years at Washington before transferring. She plays that outfield position, but also has the power on offense too. We're ready to round out this round. Aubrey Leach, let us know.
Catcher Julia Cottrell.
Julia Cottrell, our next catcher off the board, playing for Team Leach. So we've got 4 picks left. We might start to see things slow down here. This is the part of the draft where I feel like things really get into the nitty-gritty. If you've watched in the past, you really see these captains trying to put together a team that's not only going to have offense, also play solid defense, and have chemistry too, because that matters in this AU system of being able to click quickly after only a couple practices and then playing 3 games together in these series. So you might be wondering, who is Jesse Warren talking on the phone to? So a lot of times in these drafts, we're giving you all the inside look this year. But behind the scenes, I've got to know that a lot of times these captains will call on players that are on their teams, whether they're on Zoom, whether in a group call or texting about it. These captains also lean on the other players to help put together, a group that they think is going to fit and be able to be successful, pick up those win points, have people who are going to put up some crazy stat points, and put together a team that has a good record to be able to move up the leaderboard. All right, Jesse, who's your next pick?
Middle infielder Billy Andrews.
Billy Andrews goes to Team Warren to start off the 10th round. Megan Williams is thinking on her next pick. So these are our Series 1 captains. If you're familiar with AU Pro Softball, AUX is played in series. It's going to be 18 games from June 10th to 25th. And then if you stay tuned in July, we're going to kick off the championship season in Rosemont, Illinois. That's when we play on a weekly schedule, 30 games in 5 weeks to crown a champion. All right, Wiggins, let us know your next pick.
Designated player Nadia Taylor.
A DP off the board, Nadia Taylor. She's in that DP position, but something you should know about Nadia, she can also play the corner infield really well. She's worked on that defense. She's somebody who's another one of those veterans at Athletes Unlimited. She's going to Team Wiggins with the 10th pick. So far in AUX history, we've seen pitchers be the champions. In 2022, it was Danielle O'Toole. 2023, Rachel Garcia. And this year, we'll see if that trend continues or if there's a position player that works their way up to number one on the leaderboard. The next pick is Aubrey Leach. Go ahead, Aubrey.
Pitcher, Sarah Willis.
Another one of our newcomers, Sarah Willis, is off the board. The pitcher who bats left, throws right. She's from Bremen, Georgia, was a 2-year letter winner at UCF after playing her freshman and sophomore year at Washington. She made that transfer so that she could have more time in the circle, really start to hone her craft. Now she's going to be making her pro debut with Team Leach. Okay, just a couple rounds left. Jesse, start us off for the 11th pick.
Pitcher, Hope Trotwine.
A little bit of a mouthful on that one. Jesse picks up another pitcher in Hope Trotwine. She's joining the Blue Squad for Series 1. Now, Hope is one of those players who is a newcomer to AU, but has been a pro. She has experience playing in the United States. She's been in the circle at the next level after graduating from Oklahoma after 4 years at North Texas. So she's one of those players who maybe you don't know her from AU if you just followed AU Pro Softball. She's somebody who has pro experience and really has played at this level before. Okay, Wiggins, let us know your next pick.
Middle infielder, Andrea Filler.
Andrea Filler goes to Team Wiggins. And we're moving through these picks quick. Before I could even tell you a little bit more about Filler, Leach is ready. Take us away, Aubrey.
Outfield, Riley West.
Riley West is off the board. She goes to Team Leach. So in this round, we saw Hope Trotwine, a pitcher, Andrea Filler, a middle infielder, and then Riley West is ready from Team Leach. She's going to be playing the outfield position. All right, Jesse, let us know who you're kicking off the 12th round with.
Designated player, Carly Spade.
Carly Spade goes to Team Warren. Carly Spade had a legendary career at Miami, Ohio. Her name is scattered across the record books. She's someone who really made an impact in that program, spent 4 years with the Red Hawks, setting program records and NCAA records for her hot bat, all in her 4 years as a college player. Okay, Wiggins, let us know. You're up.
Corner infielder, Kelsey Stewart Hunter.
Kelsey Stewart Hunter goes to Team Wiggins, another one of those corner infielders. She's the last corner infielder off the board, so that position is finished. We'll take a look at who's left to round out these last couple picks. These players try and fill things out. So you've got some outfielders, a pitcher as well, and then a catcher too that's on the board. Like I said, a lot of times these last picks are really based off of the other positions already being filled. So you can see that change week to week. It's not always about that player. Sometimes it's just about working the AU draft system to your advantage. That's something that these captains know how to do. They've been in this seat before, and it's something they're familiar with. Okay, Aubrey, who you got?
Outfield, Mackenzie Clark.
Mackenzie Clark goes to Team Leach. We're close to rounding out today's draft. Some things you should know about Mackenzie Clark. She was a 4-year letter winner at Clemson. She was a 3-time AAC conference performer who closed out second place in the Tigers' all-time list with a 345 batting average. She's one of those players who have been there to establish that program from early on and really set the tone for what it means to be a Clemson Tigers softball player. So get ready for this last round. Okay, Jesse, take it away.
Catcher, Jordan Redley.
Jordan Redley rounds out the squad for Team Warren in Series 1. She'll be wearing blue in her AU Pro Softball debut. Wiggins, you're up next.
Oh, yeah. She was on thing. Pitcher, Alex Storako.
Alex Duraco goes to Team Wiggins to complete the orange squad. Aubrey Leach, you got it.
Outfield, Morgan DeBoard.
And Morgan DeBoer goes to Team Leach. You are looking at your Series 1 2024 AUX teams. These squads are going to get together after today's draft, go into practice over the next couple days, and then make their debut on June 10th. Some of them their first time as a pro, others their first season ever with AU Pro Softball, and then that core of newcomers who know what it takes to chase the championship. It's up for grabs. It's going to start on June 10th. Team Wiggins versus Team Leach at 5 CT on ESPN News, followed by Team Warren versus Team Leach at 7:30 on ESPNU. Thank you to our captains for joining in today and giving us this behind-the-scenes look of what it's like to make these picks and have to put together your own team. And Applebee's, our sponsor this season, for keeping us well-fed and hydrated for the draft and being a great host for us this season. You can go to auprosports.com to check out these full rosters, dig in today's draft, and then follow us at AU Pro Softball for all the updates throughout the week as we lead up to opening day of the 2024 season. I'm your host, Savannah Collins. We'll see you for Series 2 back here for the draft. See ya.